Welcome back. USA coins value. Today, we're traveling through time with one of the most collected coins in American history, the USA 1 cent. From 1966 to 1996, these small copper coins silently witnessed wars, inflation, design changes, and historic minting errors. Are they common, or secretly valuable? Stay till the end, because some of these pennies might be worth far more than you imagine. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's begin the journey. Introduction: the story of a small coin from a big nation, the United States of America, a nation built on freedom, industry, and resilience, has always used its currency as a mirror of its history. Among all American coins, the 1 cent, commonly known as the penny, holds a special emotional and historical value. Though small in size and low in denomination, it has carried the weight of American identity for more than a century. The 1966 USA 1 cent is not just a coin. It is a silent witness to political tension, economic pressure, social change, and a rare experiment by the U.S. Mint. This penny belongs to a unique era when America was redefining how money itself should function. Historical background: America in 1966. The year 1966 was a turbulent time in the United States. The Vietnam War was intensifying, civil rights movements were reshaping society, and inflation was beginning to affect everyday life. During this period, Americans started hoarding coins, especially silver and copper coins, fearing future shortages. Because of this hoarding, the U.S. faced a national coin shortage in the mid-1960s. To fight this problem, the U.S. government and the Treasury Department took an extraordinary decision: remove mint marks from circulating coins. This decision directly affects the 1966 Lincoln cent, making it historically unique. Why 1966 has no mint mark? From 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks D.S. from coins to discourage collectors from saving them. The logic was simple: if people couldn't tell where a coin was minted, they would be less likely to hoard it. So the 1966 1 cent has no mint mark, even though it was produced at multiple facilities. This makes 1966 one of the most misunderstood but important pennies in U.S. numismatic history. Design details: a symbol of American identity. Obverse front side: the front of the coin features Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designer: Victor David Brenner. First introduced, 1909. Inscription: Liberty, in God we trust. 1966. Lincoln's calm yet firm expression reflects leadership, unity, and sacrifice, values deeply connected to American identity. Reverse back side: the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, one of the most iconic monuments in the United States. Introduced in 1959, symbolizes democracy, remembrance, and national strength. Inside the memorial, Lincoln's statue can be faintly seen, making it one of the most detailed designs ever used on a small coin. Text on the reverse includes: United States of America, e pluribus unum, 1 cent, metal composition, real copper era. The 1966 1 cent was struck in the classic copper composition, 95% copper, 5% zinc. Weight, 3.11 grams. This makes the 1966 penny part of the true copper era, before the major metal change in 1982. Because of rising copper prices, these older pennies today have intrinsic metal value, which adds to collector interest. Minting and production: although no mint mark appears, the coin was struck in very large quantities. Millions of 1966 cents entered circulation to solve the shortage problem. Because of this, circulated examples are very common, high grade. Uncirculated examples are much harder to find. Quality control during this period was rushed, which opened the door for errors and varieties. Mint luster: most valuable, RB, red brown, partial toning, BN, brown, fully toned. Most common, a 1966 red penny in mint condition can be many times more valuable than a brown circulated one. Rare errors and varieties: hidden treasures. Even common coins can become rare due to errors. The 1966 penny is known for several collectible mint errors. Small diamond off-center strikes coin struck incorrectly, leaving part of the design missing. Small diamond die cracks and die chips. Raised lines or blobs caused by damaged dies. Small diamond broad strikes coin struck without a collar, making it wider than normal. Small diamond double strikes coin struck more than once, creating overlapping designs. Error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on severity and condition. Collector value, what is it worth today? Approximate collector value varies by condition: circulated brown, low value uncirculated red, moderate to high value error coins, high to very high value certified Mississippi 67 plus red coins. Premium prices value is influenced by color, surface quality, strike sharpness, error type, market demand, cultural and numismatic importance. The 1966 USA 1 cent represents a rare moment when America temporarily changed its minting philosophy. It reminds collectors that coins are not just metal, they are economic tools shaped by human behavior. This penny tells a story of government policy, public reaction, economic pressure, national adaptation. Why collectors still care about 1966 even today. Collectors search through old jars and rolls hoping to find a bright red uncirculated 1966 penny, a rare mint error, a high-grade example forgotten in time because once copper changes color or gets damaged, it can never return to its original state. Conclusion: a penny that speaks history. The 1966 United States 1 cent may look ordinary, but its story is extraordinary. It comes from a time when America faced shortages, fear, and change, yet adapted without abandoning its identity. Sometimes, the smallest coin carries the loudest history. Clapperboard final closing line. For video, in the world of coins, value isn't always measured in cents, sometimes, it's measured in. Next coin introduction. A coin from a changing America. The United States of America has always reflected its economic strength and social change through its currency. The 1979 USA 1 cent belongs to a crucial moment in American history, a time when the nation stood between tradition and transformation. This penny comes from the late Copper era, just a few years before the U.S. Mint made one of the most dramatic changes in coin composition. Though often ignored in circulation, the 1979 cent quietly marks the end of an age. Historical background: USA in 1979. The year 1979 was challenging for America. The country faced high inflation, rising metal prices, energy crises, economic uncertainty. Copper prices were increasing rapidly, and the cost of making a penny was nearing, and sometimes exceeding, its face value. The U.S. government realized that continuing with heavy copper coins was no longer sustainable. The 1979 penny was struck right before emergency planning began to change the metal composition of U.S. cents. Why 1979 is important in penny history. The 1979 1 cent is special because it is part of the last fully copper generation. It still weighs 3.11 grams. It represents the final stable years before the historic 1982 transition. Collectors often call 1979 pennies true copper survivors. Design details: classic Lincoln-style small diamond obverse front. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity and leadership. Details include: "In God We Trust," "Liberty," date: 1979. The portrait designed by Victor D. Brenner remained unchanged, showing how deeply Lincoln was connected to American identity. Small diamond reverse back. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959. Text includes: United States of America, e pluribus unum, 1 cent. The memorial represents democracy, sacrifice, and the permanence of American values. Metal composition: real copper power. The 1979 USA 1 cent is made of 95% copper, 5% zinc. Weight: 3.11 grams. Because of its high copper content, this coin has a richer color, heavier feel, higher metal value than modern zinc pennies. This is why many collectors prefer pre-1982 cents. Minting details: where it was made. 1979 pennies were struck at Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, proof coins. Large quantities were produced, but quality varied, opening the door to errors and varieties. Errors and varieties: collector excitement. Though not famous like 1982, the 1979 penny still offers exciting finds: small diamond die cracks, raised lines caused by worn dies. Small diamond off-center strikes, design not centered on the coin. Small diamond broad strikes, coins struck without a collar, appearing wider. Small diamond weak strikes, common due to heavy production pressure. Well-defined errors can command strong premiums. Condition and color: the key to value. Copper pennies are graded by color. RD, red bright, Original mint color RB red brown, partial toning BN brown, fully toned A 1979 red penny in high mint state is much rarer than people expect because copper darkens easily over time. Market value, what can it be worth? Approximate collector value depends on color grade errors certification general idea, circulated brown, low value uncirculated red, moderate value error coins, high value top grade certified coins. Premium collector demand why collectors still search for 1979 pennies. Collectors love 1979 cents because they are true copper. They belong to the pre-zinc era. They often hide unnoticed in old collections they complete. Last copper decade, sets many valuable examples are lost simply due to oxidation and damage. Cultural and numismatic significance. The 1979 1 cent represents a moment when America was still holding onto tradition, just before change became unavoidable. It tells a story of economic pressure, rising material costs, a nation preparing for transformation. Conclusion: the quiet end of copper. The 1979 USA 1 cent may look ordinary, but it stands at the edge of history. Next coin introduction: a penny before the storm. In the long history of the United States of America, very few coins sit so quietly before a historic change as the 1981 1 cent. This penny comes from the final moments of stability, just before one of the most dramatic transformations in American coinage. The 1981 cent may look ordinary, but it belongs to the last chapter of the true copper era. Within a single year, everything about the penny would change. Historical background: America in 1981. The year 1981 was a turning point for the United States. The country was dealing with high inflation, rising metal and production costs, economic restructuring, changes in leadership and fiscal policy. Copper prices were climbing fast, and by 1981 the cost of producing a penny was dangerously close to, and sometimes higher than, its face value. The U.S. Mint knew that continuing to produce heavy copper pennies was no longer sustainable. Why 1981 is important? The 1981 USA 1 cent is important because it is among the last full copper pennies. It weighs 3.11 grams. It represents the final, normal, year before emergency measures in 1982. Collectors often see 1981 as the calm before the storm in penny history. Design details: tradition maintained small diamond obverse front. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner. Inscriptions: In God We Trust, Liberty. Date: 1981. The design remained unchanged, reinforcing continuity during economic uncertainty. Small diamond reverse back. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959. Text includes, United States of America, e pluribus unum, 1 cent. This design symbolized stability, exactly what the nation needed at the time. Metal composition: true copper. The 1981 1 cent contains 95% copper, 5% zinc. Weight: 3.11 grams. This heavy copper composition would disappear forever after 1982, making 1981 especially meaningful to collectors. Minting details: where it was made. 1981 pennies were struck at Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, proof coins. Production numbers were high, but quality varied depending on mint and strike pressure. Errors and varieties: collectible finds. Collectors search for off-center strikes, die cracks, weak strikes, double strikes, planchette flaws. While not extremely rare, clean and dramatic errors can be very valuable. Condition and color: copper aging. Copper coins change color easily. Collectors classify them as RD red, highest value; RB red brown; BN brown. Most common finding a 1981 penny in full red condition today is much harder than people expect. Market value: collector interest value depends on color grade, mint, error presence, certification. General range: circulated coins, low value uncirculated red coins, moderate value error coins, high value high grade certified coins. Premium prices. Cultural and numismatic significance: the 1981 1 cent stands as the final symbol of the old penny system, heavy, copper, and traditional. It represents the end of an era, economic reality forcing change, a silent goodbye to true copper cents. Conclusion: the last breath of copper. The 1981 USA 1 cent may not shout its importance, but it whispers a powerful truth: change is always coming. After 1981, the American penny would never feel the same again. Clapperboard final video line: Before the penny lost its weight, 1981 carried the burden of history. Next coin introduction. Life after the copper era. After the historic transformation of 1982, the American penny entered a new chapter. The 1985 USA 1 cent represents a period of adjustment, when the United States had fully accepted the zinc-based penny and focused on stability, efficiency, and cost control. Though less dramatic than 1982, 1985 plays a critical role in understanding how modern American coinage evolved. Historical background. USA in 1985. In 1985, the United States was adapting to a restructured economy, lower inflation compared to the early 1980s, a stabilized metal market. By this time, the U.S. Mint had solved the penny cost crisis by switching to zinc cores with copper plating. The 1985 penny reflects this new normal. Why 1985 matters? The 1985 1 cent is important because it confirms the permanent shift to zinc. It shows improved production consistency. It introduced long-term durability challenges for pennies. This year helped define what a modern penny would be. Design details. Classic but modernized small diamond obverse front. The obverse still features Abraham Lincoln, unchanged in design. Inscriptions. In God We Trust. Liberty. Date 1985. While the design remained the same, strike clarity slowly improved. Small diamond reverse back. The reverse continues the Lincoln Memorial design. Text. United States of America, e pluribus unum, 1 cent. Though familiar, the lighter zinc planchette slightly altered the coin's feel and sound. Metal composition. The zinc reality. The 1985 1 cent is composed of 97.5% zinc core, 2.5% copper plating. Weight 2.50 grams. Unlike copper cents, zinc pennies are more vulnerable to corrosion, sensitive to moisture, prone to plating damage. Condition is extremely important. Minting details. Where it was struck. 1985 pennies were produced at Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D mint mark. San Francisco, proof coins. Production was massive, ensuring plenty of circulation coins. Errors and varieties. Where value hides, collectors search for plating, blisters, exposed zinc errors, die cracks, off center strikes, double strikes. Because zinc cores react easily, original undamaged coins are more valuable. Condition and preservation. A modern challenge. Unlike copper pennies, zinc cents can bubble, peel, rot from inside. Coins with full original plating and clean surfaces are far rarer than expected. Market value. What collectors pay for. General overview. Circulated examples. Low value uncirculated clean coins. Moderate value proof coins. Collector value error coins. High premiums. Top grade certified coins remain desirable. Cultural and numismatic significance. The 1985 1 cent represents acceptance, a moment when America adjusted to economic reality and moved forward with efficiency over tradition. It shows that even iconic designs must adapt to survive. Conclusion. The penny finds its new identity. The 1985 USA 1 cent may lack drama, but it represents survival, adaptation, and modernization. This penny didn't change history, it learned from it. Clapperboard final video line. After the storm of change, 1985 taught the penny how to survive. Next coin introduction. Life after the copper era. After the historic transformation of 1982, the American penny entered a new chapter. The 1985 USA 1 cent represents a period of adjustment, when the United States had fully accepted the zinc-based penny and focused on stability, efficiency, and cost control. Though less dramatic than 1982, 1985 plays a critical role in understanding how modern American coinage evolved. Historical background. USA in 1985. In 1985, the United States was adapting to a restructured economy, lower inflation compared to the early 1980s, a stabilized metal market. By this time, the U.S. Mint had solved the penny cost crisis by switching to zinc cores with copper plating. The 1985 penny reflects this new normal. Why 1985 matters? The 1985 1 cent is important because it confirms the permanent shift to zinc. It shows improved production consistency. It introduced long-term durability challenges for pennies. This year helped define what a modern penny would be. Design details. Classic but modernized small diamond obverse front. The obverse still features Abraham Lincoln, unchanged in design. Inscriptions. In God We Trust. Liberty. Date 1985. While the design remained the same, strike clarity slowly improved. Small diamond reverse back. The reverse continues the Lincoln Memorial design. Text: United States of America, e pluribus unum, 1 cent. Though familiar, the lighter zinc planchette slightly altered the coin's feel and sound. Metal composition: the zinc reality. The 1985 1 cent is composed of 97.5% zinc core, 2.5% copper plating. Weight: 2.50 grams. Unlike copper cents, zinc pennies are more vulnerable to corrosion, sensitive to moisture, prone to plating damage. Condition is extremely important. Minting details: where it was struck. 1985 pennies were produced at Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, proof coins. Production was massive, ensuring plenty of circulation coins. Errors and varieties: where value hides, collectors search for plating, blisters, exposed zinc errors, die cracks, off center strikes, double strikes. Because zinc cores react easily, original undamaged coins are more valuable. Condition and preservation: a modern challenge. Unlike copper pennies, zinc cents can bubble, peel, rot from inside. Coins with full original plating and clean surfaces are far rarer than expected. Market value: what collectors pay for. General overview: circulated examples, low value uncirculated clean coins, moderate value proof coins, collector value error coins, high premiums. Top grade certified coins remain desirable. Cultural and numismatic significance: the 1985 1 cent represents acceptance, a moment when America adjusted to economic reality and moved forward with efficiency over tradition. It shows that even iconic designs must adapt to survive. Conclusion: the penny finds its new identity. The 1985 USA 1 cent may lack drama, but it represents survival, adaptation, and modernization. This penny didn't change history, it learned from it. Clapperboard final video line: after the storm of change, 1985 taught the penny how to survive. Next coin introduction: refining the modern penny. By 1986, the United States had fully entered the era of the modern penny. The chaos of transition was over, and the U.S. Mint shifted its focus toward better quality, consistency, and efficiency. The 1986 USA 1 cent reflects this quieter but important phase, a year where improvements mattered more than change. This coin represents the moment when the penny finally settled into its new identity. Historical background: USA in 1986. In 1986, the United States experienced greater economic stability, controlled inflation, improved industrial efficiency. The zinc-based penny introduced earlier in the decade was now accepted nationwide. The mint focused on reducing defects, improving strikes, and extending die life. The 1986 penny was born in this environment of refinement. Why 1986 is important? The 1986 1 cent matters because it shows improved minting quality. It reflects lessons learned from early zinc issues. It became the standard model for future pennies. Collectors see 1986 as the year the modern penny grew up. Design details: tradition continues. Small diamond obverse front. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, unchanged yet iconic. Inscriptions: in God we trust, liberty. Date: 1986. Sharper strikes became more common compared to earlier zinc years. Small diamond reverse back. The reverse continues the Lincoln Memorial design. Text: United States of America, e pluribus unum, 1 cent. This reverse had become deeply familiar to Americans by the mid-1980s. Metal composition: zinc with experience. The 1986 1 cent composition: 97.5% zinc core, 2.5% copper plating. Weight: 2.50 grams. Though lighter than copper cents, improved plating techniques made these coins more durable than earlier zinc issues. Minting details: where it was struck. 1986 pennies were produced at Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, proof coins. Production remained high to meet circulation demand. Errors and varieties: modern collecting appeal. Collectors look for off-center strikes, die cracks, broad strikes, plating errors, double strikes. While dramatic errors are rarer than in transition years, clean errors still command strong premiums. Condition and grading: modern reality. Because zinc pennies are sensitive, collectors value full original copper plating, no bubbling or corrosion, clean surfaces. High-grade mint state coins are harder to find than expected due to circulation wear. Market value: where the value lies. General overview: circulated coins, low value uncirculated coins, Moderate collector value proof coins. Popular among modern collectors. Error coins. High premium certified high-grade examples continue to rise in demand. Cultural and numismatic significance. The 1986 1 cent symbolizes acceptance of change. America no longer resisted the modern penny, it improved it. This coin reflects adaptation, technical progress, long-term planning. Conclusion: stability in small metal. The 1986 USA 1 cent does not shout history, it maintains it. It shows how refinement, not revolution, can shape the future. Clapperboard final video line: not every historic coin changes the world, some simply make it work better. Next coin introduction: a penny from everyday America. The 1993 USA 1 cent belongs to a time when the penny was still a daily companion of ordinary Americans. By the early 1990s, pennies moved rapidly through pockets, shops, buses, and banks. This coin doesn't come from a dramatic transition year, instead, it represents heavy circulation, mass production, and modern American life. Sometimes, the most common coins tell the most honest stories. Historical background: USA in 1993. In 1993, the United States experienced economic recovery after the early 1990s recession. Rapid technological growth, expansion of consumer culture. The penny was still widely used for pricing, taxes, and change. The U.S. Mint focused on quantity over collectability, producing massive numbers of coins to meet demand. The 1993 penny reflects this high-speed monetary environment. Why 1993 is important? The 1993 1 cent matters because it circulated heavily nationwide. It shows where patterns of modern commerce. High-grade examples are surprisingly scarce. Most 1993 pennies were used hard, finding clean ones today is the challenge. Design details: a familiar icon, small diamond obverse front. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, unchanged for decades. Inscriptions: "In God We Trust, Liberty." Date: 1993. The design had become one of the most recognized coin portraits in the world. Small diamond reverse back. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial. Text: United States of America, e pluribus unum, 1 cent. By 1993, this reverse design symbolized continuity and tradition. Metal composition: modern zinc cent. The 1993 1 cent composition: 97.5% zinc core, 2.5% copper. Plating weight: 2.50 grams. Because of zinc, many 1993 pennies today suffer from corrosion, plating damage, surface bubbling. Clean examples are harder to find than expected. Minting details: mass production. 1993 pennies were struck at Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, proof coins. Production numbers were extremely high, making circulated examples common. Errors and varieties: where value hides, collectors search for off-center strikes, die cracks, die chips, weak strikes, plating splits. Well-preserved error coins can still bring strong collector premiums. Condition and grading: the real challenge for 1993 cents. Condition is everything. Mint state coins are much rarer than circulated ones. Zinc corrosion lowers value quickly. Full copper plating is critical. A clean, uncirculated 1993 penny stands out strongly. Market value: what collectors look for. General overview: circulated coins, low value uncirculated coins, moderate collector value proof coins, consistent demand error coins, high value depending on type. Certified high-grade coins attract modern collectors. Cultural and numismatic significance: the 1993 1 cent represents everyday America, small transactions, busy streets, and constant movement. It shows how coins can be historically important not because they are rare, but because they were used. Conclusion: common, but not forgotten. The 1993 USA 1 cent may seem ordinary, but its story lies in wear, survival, and circulation. Millions were made, few survived in perfect condition. Clapperboard final video line: sometimes, history isn't hidden in rarity, it's hidden in everyday use. Next coin introduction: a quiet year with hidden stories. The 1994 USA 1 cent comes from a year that rarely gets attention, yet quietly holds its own place in American coin history. This penny belongs to the mid-1990s, when the United States enjoyed relative economic calm, and the U.S. Mint focused on efficiency and mass circulation. Sometimes, the quietest years hide the most interesting details. Historical background: USA in 1994. In 1994, the United States experienced economic stability, lower inflation, expanding consumer markets. Coins were no longer viewed as collectibles by the general public, they were tools of everyday life. As a result, pennies like the 1994 cent circulated heavily and suffered significant wear. Why 1994 is important? The 1994 1 cent matters because it reflects mid-1990s mass production. High-grade examples are surprisingly scarce. It sits between two more famous years, 1993 and 1995. Collectors often overlook it, which makes it interesting. Design details, tradition unchanged. Small diamond obverse front. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, unchanged and iconic. Inscriptions: In God We Trust, Liberty. Date: 1994. The design symbolized continuity during a stable decade. Small diamond reverse back. The reverse continues the Lincoln Memorial design. Text: United States of America, e pluribus unum, 1 cent. This reverse would soon become part of history itself. Metal composition: zinc-based cent. The 1994 1 cent composition: 97.5% zinc core, 2.5% copper. Plating weight: 2.50 grams. Zinc coins are vulnerable, making well-preserved 1994 pennies harder to find. Minting details: where it was struck. 1994 pennies were struck at Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, proof coins. Production numbers were high to support nationwide circulation. Errors and varieties: collector interest. Collectors search for die cracks, die chips, off-center strikes, plating errors, weak strikes. While no famous major variety exists, error coins still command premiums. Condition and preservation: why it matters most. 1994 cents show surface wear, dull color, zinc exposure. Mint state examples with full plating are far less common. Market value: realistic collecting. General overview: circulated coins, low value uncirculated coins, moderate value proof coins, stable demand error coins, higher premiums. Collectors often value 1994 cents as condition rarities. Cultural and numismatic significance: the 1994 1 cent reflects a mature monetary system, stable, efficient, and unnoticed. It proves that not every important coin announces itself loudly. Conclusion: the forgotten modern penny. The 1994 USA 1 cent may not be famous, but it remains an honest representative of everyday American currency. Sometimes, history lives quietly in your pocket. Clapperboard. Final video line: not all valuable stories shine, some wait patiently to be discovered. Next coin introduction: the famous double die year. The 1995 USA 1 cent is one of the most celebrated and sought-after pennies among collectors. Unlike ordinary years, 1995 gave birth to the infamous double die obverse variety, making it a year of intrigue, value, and numismatic excitement. This coin isn't just small change, it's a treasure hidden in circulation. Historical background: USA in 1995. In 1995, the United States was experiencing economic growth, expansion of technology and industry, continued widespread use of coins for daily transactions. Pennies like the 1995 cent were everywhere, in pockets, vending machines, and cash registers. But among these ordinary coins, a few stood out dramatically due to minting errors. Why 1995 is important? The 1995 1 cent is historically significant because it features one of the most famous modern mint errors. Collectors eagerly hunt for double die pennies. It is widely circulated, but high-grade or error coins are extremely valuable. This year made ordinary pennies into legends. Design details: classic Lincoln small diamond obverse front features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner. Inscriptions: In God We Trust, Liberty. Date: 1995. The double die error is usually visible on Liberty and the date, creating a bold, shadowed appearance. Small diamond reverse back. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial. Text: United States of America, e pluribus unum, 1 cent. The reverse remains consistent, emphasizing that the obverse is the star for collectors. Metal composition: zinc era. The 1995 1 cent composition: 97.5% zinc core, 2.5% copper. Plating weight: 2.50 grams. The zinc core is durable, but plating flaws can reveal underlying metal, increasing collector interest. Minting details: where it was struck. 1995 pennies were minted at Philadelphia No mint mark, Denver D mint mark, San Francisco proof coins. The double die variety exists primarily from the Philadelphia Mint. Errors and varieties. The double die obverse. The 1995 double die obverse penny is famous because the lettering appears shadowed or doubled. It is readily visible to the naked eye. It is rare in high grades, especially uncirculated. Collectors actively search for these pennies in circulated rolls, collector sets, old jars and cash drawers. Other minor errors exist, but the double die dominates this year. Condition and grading, crucial for value. Double die 1995 pennies are graded carefully. Circulated coins. Value depends on damage. Uncirculated coins. Premium pricing. Certified coins. Extremely valuable in Mississippi. 65 or higher. Even minor scratches or plating issues can reduce value significantly. Market value. A modern treasure. Approximate value. Normal circulated. Low uncirculated. Standard. Moderate double die circulated. $50 minus $500 plus double die uncirculated. $1,000 minus $10,000 plus depending on grade. 1995 pennies proved that modern coins can still become collector legends. Cultural and numismatic significance. The 1995 1 cent represents hidden potential in everyday coins. How minting errors create collector excitement. The continued relevance of pennies in modern numismatics. This coin reminds us that even familiar currency can hold surprises. Conclusion. Legendary yet common. The 1995 USA 1 cent may look ordinary, but in the right hands, it can tell a story of rarity, value, and discovery. Clapperboard. Final video line. 1995 proves that even a single penny can hold a legend within its copper-plated zinc. Final coin introduction. The final Lincoln Memorial era penny. The 1996 USA 1 cent is part of the final years of the classic Lincoln Memorial design before the 2009 redesign introduced the Union Shield reverse. This penny represents the end of an era, carrying decades of history, tradition, and modern circulation in its small copper-plated zinc frame. It is a coin that quietly bridges the past and the present. Historical background. USA in 1996. In 1996, the United States was economically strong, experiencing technological expansion, entering a period of stable prosperity. Pennies like the 1996 cent were still widely used, but interest in coins as collectibles was growing. The U.S. Mint continued producing millions of pennies annually, ensuring every register, jar, and wallet carried a piece of American history. Why 1996 is important? The 1996 1 cent is important because it is part of the final decade of Lincoln Memorial. Pennies represents mature zinc era minting. Some coins began showing minor varieties sought by collectors. While not as dramatic as 1982 or 1995, it signals the quiet transition into the modern design era. Design details. Classic Lincoln small diamond obverse front features Abraham Lincoln, unchanged since 1909. Inscriptions. In God We Trust. Liberty. 1996. Design represents stability, continuity, and historical respect. Small diamond reverse back shows the Lincoln Memorial inscriptions. United States of America. E pluribus unum. 1 cent. This reverse had been used since 1959, making it instantly recognizable. Metal composition. Modern zinc cent. The 1996 penny composition. 97.5% zinc core, 2.5% copper plating, weight 2.50 grams. This composition would continue until 2008, making the 1996 penny part of the modern circulation series. Minting details. Where it was struck. 1996 pennies were struck at Philadelphia No mint mark, Denver D mint mark, San Francisco proof coins. Mass production ensured heavy circulation, but also left opportunity for subtle varieties. Errors and varieties. Subtle collectible details collectors watch for. Die cracks and chips, off center strikes, plating blisters, weaker double strikes. Though less dramatic than 1995, error coins are still valued by collectors. Condition and grading. Collector challenge. The 1996 cent is widely available in circulation, but pristine coins are more valuable. Mint state red, full original plating, is rare. Circulated coins may show scratches, wear, or zinc exposure. Certified coins command the highest premiums. Market value. Modern collector interest. Approximate value. Circulated coins. Low uncirculated coins. Moderate proof coins. Collector favorites. Error coins. high value depending on rarity. 1996 cents are mostly a collector's modern nostalgia item. Cultural and numismatic significance. The 1996 1-cent bridges the historic Lincoln Memorial era with the modern era, marks the end of the classic reverse design, reflects mature zinc era minting techniques, reminds collectors of the transition toward the 21st century penny. Conclusion: the end of an era. The 1996 USA 1 cent may not be the rarest or most famous, but it carries the weight of decades of American history in every detail. It is the quiet finale of the Lincoln Memorial Penny series. Clapperboard final video line: 1996 wasn't about change, it was about closing a chapter and preserving history in every small coin.